Hi, I'm Adam. Join me in this adventure where we explore 25 electrifying questions about static electricity. Let's dive right in. Question 1. What are atoms and how do they relate to static electricity? Atoms serve as the fundamental building blocks of all matter. When electrons move between atoms, it results in an uneven distribution of electric charge within an object, leading to the phenomenon known as static electricity. Question 2. What are the 3 subatomic particles found in an atom, and where are they located? Protons and neutrons are in the nucleus, while electrons orbit the nucleus in electron shells. Question 3. Compare the size of the nucleus to that of the atom with an analogy. If the atom is as big as a football field, then the nucleus will be the size of a marble in the middle of the football field. Question 4. What are the electric charges of the electrons, protons, and neutrons? Electrons carry a negative charge. Protons carry a positive charge. Neutrons have no net electrical charge. They are neutral. Question 5. Compare the masses of the electrons, protons, and neutrons. The mass of a proton is approximately 1,836 times the mass of an electron. The mass of a neutron is approximately 1,839 electron masses. So, as you can see, electrons have a significantly smaller mass compared to the protons and neutrons. Question 6. Compare the mobility of the electrons, protons, and neutrons. Electrons are highly mobile and move rapidly within the electron cloud surrounding the atomic nucleus. In the nucleus, protons are bound by the strong nuclear force, and they do not move freely within the atom. Neutrons are similar to protons in terms of mobility. Question 7. Do atoms carry an electric charge? No, atoms are electrically neutral. So the number of protons is always equal to the number of electrons in an atom. The positive charge of a proton is cancelled by the negative charge of an electron. Question 8. A sodium atom has 11 protons. How many electrons does a sodium atom have? 11 electrons. Question 9. What is the difference between a charged object and an uncharged object? A charged object has an excess or deficit of electrons, resulting in an electric charge. Having excess electrons creates negative charge. Having a deficit of electrons creates positive charge. An uncharged object has an equal number of protons and electrons. Question 10. How can an object become charged? Friction can transfer electrons between objects, leading to one object becoming negatively charged because it gains electrons and the other positively charged because it loses electrons. For example, when a balloon is rubbed on your hair, electrons are transferred from your hair to the balloon. So the balloon will be negatively charged and your hair will be positively charged. Objects can be charged just by contact also. Now, we will touch the negatively charged balloon onto an uncharged balloon. Some of the excess electrons on the charged balloon will move to the neutral balloon, making the second balloon also negatively charged. Since like charges repel, the two negatively charged balloons will move apart. Question 11. What is polarization in static electricity? If a negatively charged balloon is brought close to a neutral soda can, the electrons in the soda can redistribute away from the balloon. So the side of the can facing the balloon becomes positive, creating an attractive electrical force between the positive side of the can and the negatively charged balloon. This interaction causes the can to roll towards the balloon due to the attractive forces between the opposite charges. The other side of the can will be negative. So we say the can is polarized. So polarization occurs when a neutral object is subjected to an external electric field, leading to a redistribution of electrons within the object. Despite this electron movement, the object maintains its overall neutral charge. Question 12. What is charging by induction? A negatively charged balloon is brought near a soda can. As explained in the previous question, the soda can gets polarized and will move towards the negative balloon. Now, you touch the negative side of the can while the negative balloon is still present. The electrons in the can that shifted away from the negative balloon will now be grounded through you, making the can positively charged. This is charging by induction. On the other hand, if a positively charged balloon is brought near a neutral soda can, the electrons in the can will shift towards the positive balloon. Now, if you touch the positive side of the can, electrons will rush into the can through you, making the can negatively charged by induction. Question 13. You have a charged balloon and a neutral soda can. Which charging method creates an opposite charge on the soda can compared to the balloon? Charging by induction, as explained in the previous question. Question 14. What is the triboelectric series? The triboelectric series is a list that ranks materials based on their tendency to gain or lose electrons when they come into contact with each other through friction. In the list shown here, materials are listed in order from those that tend to lose electrons, which means they become positively charged, to those that tend to gain electrons, which become negatively charged. For example, if you put a nylon shirt and a silk scarf in the dryer, the nylon, being higher on the triboelectric series, tends to lose electrons to the silk. So the nylon shirt becomes positively charged and the silk scarf becomes negatively charged. Question 15. Explain charge interactions. Like charges repel, unlike charges attract. A charged object will also attract a neutral object due to polarization of the neutral object, as we saw before. Question 16. What is the relationship between static electricity and lightning? In the atmosphere, the movement of air masses, friction, and collision between ice particles and water droplets can lead to the buildup of static charge. Negative charges accumulate at the base of the storm clouds, and positive charges rise higher. Strong electric fields are established between the positively and negatively charged regions within the cloud, and also between the cloud and the ground. Lightning occurs when this electric field overcomes air resistance, allowing a discharge of accumulated charges. Question 17. How does humidity affect static electricity? Higher humidity levels reduce static electricity because moisture or water molecules in the air help dissipate the excess charge. Question 18. What is the law of conservation of charge? Charge is transferred between objects, but it is not created or destroyed. The total electric charge in an isolated system remains constant. Question 19. What is Coulomb's law? Coulomb's law describes the electrostatic force between two charged objects. Coulomb's law is by Charles Coulomb, a French scientist. Coulomb's law states that the force is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. Mathematically, it is expressed as F equals K times Q1, Q2 divided by R square, where F is the electrical force in newtons, K is the Coulomb's constant, which equals 9 times 10 to the 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. Q1 and Q2 are the magnitudes of the charges in the units of coulombs. So as you can see, the unit of charge is Coulomb in honor of Coulomb. And R is the distance between the charges in meters. The very large value of K shows that electrical force is a much stronger force than gravity. Question 20. Does Coulomb's law follow inverse square law? Yes. F equals K Q1 Q2 divided by R square. The 1 by R square part shows that Coulomb's law follows inverse square law. Question 21. A balloon is charged negatively. The mass of the balloon should increase, decrease, or stay the same. The mass should increase ever so slightly because the balloon has gained some electrons. Question 22. A negatively charged balloon A is attracted to another balloon B. What is the charge of balloon B? Balloon B can be positively charged or it can also be neutral. Question 23. Two charged objects experience a repulsive force of 4 newtons when separated by a distance of 0.1 meters. If the distance between the objects is doubled, how much would the electrical repulsive force be? So per the inverse square law, if the distance is doubled, the force will become 1/4 its original value. So the new force will be equal to 4 newtons times 1/4, which equals 1 newton. Question 24. Two charged objects experience an attractive force of 10 newtons. If one of the charges is doubled and the other is tripled, how much would the electrical force be? From Coulomb's law, we know that if Q1 is doubled and Q2 is tripled, the new force will be equal to 6 times 10 newtons, which equals 60 newtons. Question 25. A chlorine atom has 17 protons and 17 electrons. What happens when a chlorine atom gains an electron? A sodium atom has 11 protons and 11 electrons. What happens when a sodium atom loses an electron? If a chlorine atom gains an electron, it will have 18 electrons. So which means it would still have a 17 positive charge, but now it has an 18 negative charge. So the net charge becomes -1, which means it becomes a chloride 1 minus ion. If a sodium atom loses an electron, it would have 10 electrons. It would still have 11 positive charge, but now it would have 10 negative charge. So the net charge will be a +1, so it will become a sodium 1 plus ion. We have delved into the charged world of atoms, understanding their structure, charges, and interactions. From the triboelectric series to Coulomb's law, each question sparks a new revelation. Now it is your turn to spark engagement. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment, and support to keep the science conversation buzzing. Happy learning. Thank you.